Hey, good morning. Hi. So, this is the last day of 2020. Great, eh? What an illusion. I know it seems so real. It does seem so real. And we've made up so many stories about this year, and we'll hold them in our mind. We will. We'll go forward into the next decade. And, it's like 9/11, the date 2020 will be held in some sort of a, we'll assess it a value to it. We'll, we'll make up stories about it. It'll be folklore because that's what we like to do, isn't it? And this morning we're going to talk a little bit about being trapped in that. And, you know, my opinion is if you're here listening to this, you have a desire to be free. Everything about this, I mean, I label this as a Project Awakening. It's a freedom vehicle. And I have to be very honest with you that, yeah, sometime in the past I learned a principle, a spiritual principle, that if we help enough people get what they want, then we do as well. And so I'm sometimes venturing in to this whole subject, um, with a with a desire to have this freedom myself, to have this, to be free of fear, to be free of want and need, and to just tap into this oneness. And so sometimes I'm the blind leading the blind. Sometimes I'm sharing what I know to be true from some experience, and I know to be true from learning from others. But as I share it with you, it becomes more real for me. So thank you for allowing me to share. Thank you for being here for that. So, you know, what if everything is only what we've made it up to be? Everything has no value as it appears, and we assess value immediately. This is good, this is bad, this is right, this is wrong. And then if it's in, our past, um, if it's in our, uh, yeah, if it's in our past, like a story of something happened in our family, we hold on to it with that value. We've made a value, we've made a judgment, and we hold on to it. My dad did this, and we stick with it. And I mean, one of the beauties of the 12-step program is we get to look at our past and drop the judgment of folks and events. If you've ever done the 12 steps, you know that. And if you're still holding on to, uh, you know, uh, justifiable resentment, then we're still stuck in that assessment. We're still stuck in that fear that, you know, and we want to be identified by that. We want to be identified by our perceived abuses or our, the mean things that our mums or dads did. And we go on into our life with that identification. How about that? So, is that what you want? First, I think, it's important to be able to discern that we've done that we've created a story about a relationship, say, or about, a business failure, or something we call a failure. Even the word failure is a judgment. You know, a failed relationship, again, judgment, and we're living in that story, and so we're stuck in that story. We're always identified in that story. You know, oh, he's the guy, and we identify others by that too. we hold them in an old place? What if we could just let go of all of that? You know, your list of friends and family, and not have, you know, a story about them. You know, what if we could all be free of those stories? Yes, we love stories, but what if we could be free from the judgment that we hold people in and ourselves in? So that's the deal. I know you would think, oh, it's the last day of 2020, you know, shouldn't you be talking about that? Is it really true? Who made up these days? This calendar? You know, who said that this was an auspicious day because it's the last day of a calendar that we made up? So we're pretty stuck in the illusion. And that's okay if you're happy there. It's okay if it's not, you know, if it's all right for you, right? Is it all right for you? Yes. Just looking. Mm, there we are. Hey, you guys. So that's that's my conversation today. That, you know, this one thing, this one little thing to examine, um, where we're holding on to a belief about ourselves, about others, about life. Now, I was listening to Dr. David Hawkins this morning, and Hawkins says, of course, that we can't let go of them all individually. It would be like trying to surrender all the waves in the ocean. So, what do we do? How do we be free if we're caught up in this conditioned illusion that tells us all of the stories about ourselves? He suggests that we swim, if you will, into the stillness of the ocean. He says that we can't possibly let go of all of our preconceived ideas, mm, all of our stories about others. So if you want freedom, if you truly do want freedom, you know, not to be just living for the next experience, or imagining if you do this, you'll be somebody, you'll be happy. Do that, you'll be happy. That happiness is in the doing, it's not. I'm telling you, it is not. It's in the being. So be the ocean. How do we be the ocean? We have to we have to find quietness. We have to practice the the stillness. We have to drop in, you know. And I think to be aware that we're not what we're not, I think is important as well. And what are we not? Well, we're not our stories. These may have been things that happened, but we don't hold them as identity. Who do you think you are? If you drop all of that, who do you become? If you drop, you know, all of the stories and all of the attachments to things and events, who do you become? You become one with the moment. Even let go of any concepts of God, because we can't hold this idea of an infiniteness in our mind as an idea. We can't. So often the idea of God keeps us from experiencing this oneness of the moment. We're stuck in a belief, often a religious belief. And, you know, the stories in religion were to try to help us to become aware that there was something. But at one point or another, we have to surrender the stories to know this. Hmm. So there you go, you guys. Be here now, without the story, without the judgment, without the fear, without wanting or needing. And how do we get there? We dive in. We drop in. We become one with the moment. Each moment, without identifying the moments in the mind. Because all the trouble is in the mind. Is that not true? And okay, that's kind of the story today. The story, that's the story. So, you know, I've had people say, well, isn't that just another story? Well, in a way, yes. And we use a story to become aware and to become here now. Yes, we even have to see past that. Hmm. Okay, you guys. So that's the journey. That is the journey. Hmm. Hey, buddy. Hey, Jeff. That is the journey. All the accomplishments mean nothing. And they mean nothing. They're so shallow. You know, all of the ideas of who we are, very shallow. Let's be here now. As we shed all of that, we become this one. Yeah. Okay, you guys. I know it sounds pretty serious, right? And and it's not though. It's just so easy. We just see it. Wow. You know, we spend our life chasing experiences, or trying to be somebody, trying to, you know, identify with a country, or identify with an event, or identify with a, you know, with a culture. You know, I remember at one time in my life when I was so identified with, you know, my Harley Davidson and the crew around that. You know, I really was. I was like, wow. And because there's a culture, and people want to be part of something from the mind. We can let that go. And then we can still be whoever we want to be without holding it tightly, without, um, uh, we can be who we want to be without attachment. So, you know, it could still be, you know, the Prime Minister of Canada if you'd like, without attachment. Just be there and do the job in love without needing to be, to get anything. Ego is a, you know, ego just wants to get, it wants to accumulate. It's like, and so we can't ever really smash the ego, but the leading edge of the ego, the leading edge of it trying to get, we can be there in that moment, and turn it in into nothing, and put no value on it, and you know, surrender in the leading edge of the ego, which is the now. Not sure where that came from, but that feels right. That ego is always just grasping, and love doesn't grasp. Love is calm and aware. So, so we must speak of a time thing, like the year changing. You know, if we want to mark that with the mind, let's mark it as, you know, set a context for freedom this year. To, and I'm going to make some suggestions for you right now. Some of the freedom teachers that I've followed over the years are Eckhart Tolle, of course. You know, this year, 2021, read Eckhart Tolle, study him. Yes. Dr. David Hawkins, a freedom teacher, without question, amazing. You know, read him this year. Like, you will be blown away by just those two. But there's more. Muji, there's so much content on YouTube. These are freedom teachers, and you can, you know, experience them this year. Okay. So I'm going to encourage that a lot in 2021. The 12 steps, Bill Wilson, and the whole movement of the 12 steps is solely geared towards our freedom, to be free of fear, and, you know, is amazing. It's to know an intuitive thought, to understand and grasp the word serenity and peace. Those are all promises in that program. So even if you're not what you would consider an addict, study that. Really do. And who else? Ram Dass, great stuff on YouTube. I just love his depth into the well of freedom. And it's beautiful, you know. There's so many more. Alan Watts. Okay? So just drop in, baby. Just drop in. This year, is your freedom year. Okay? All right. So I'm still reading from this little book, and I'm going to do it right now, the 24-hour day book. And I think we're going to go a little longer than we imagined today. But here we are, the last day of the year. Ba-ba-ba-bam. Like, really. Let's not make a big deal out of it, because it's nothing. Okay? We're so attached to feelings and emotions, and that it holds us in a tight place, contracted. Hurt my feelings. Okay. See, thought for the day. I shall be loyal, he says, in my attendance, generous in my giving, kind in my criticism, creative in my suggestions, loving in my attitudes. I shall give the 12-step world and people who are seeking freedom my interest, my enthusiasm, my devotion, and most of all, myself. The Lord's prayers become part of my thoughts for each day. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Thought for the day, baby. Meditation for the day. This is from the 24-hour day book. It was written in, really in the 40s and published in 1954, I think. As we look back over the year just gone, it's been a good year, yes. To the extent that we have put good thoughts, good words, and good deeds into it. Yes, I guess. If we want to measure things in good and bad, yes. None of what we have thought, said, or done need be wasted. Both the good and the bad experiences can be profited from. Again, if we want to measure things in that realm, yes. In a sense, the past is not entirely gone. The result of it, for good or evil, are with us at the present moment. Yes, everything is here in the present moment. Everything is here in the present moment. We can only learn by experience, and none of our experiences are completely wasted. We can humbly thank God for the good things of the year that have gone. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may carry many good things into the year ahead. I pray that I may carry on with faith, with prayer, and with hope. Wow. So here we are. If you're going to ask any question this year, this evening, about next year, if we're going to use this for anything, let's use it for the question, am I prepared? Am I willing? Am I committed to being free? Are you committed to being free? Do you want to be free? Let's take this journey together. 2021, we'll call it that. The freedom year. 2021, the freedom year. Yes, let's be free together. Okay. Love you guys. And we're going to do a short meditation. And yeah, short meditation. Are you in? Join me. Join me for a little meditation, you guys. To drop in, one of the reasons that we do the meditation is so that we can kind of drop past the mind. We're going to drop past the mind into the pool, into the oneness, okay? And that's the possibility. That is the possibility. And in the oneness, we find freedom. Because I wish I could tell you that it was somewhere else, that, you could find it in the illusion of the day to day. But what happens when you find it here in the silence, it becomes part of every moment thereafter. That's right. Every time we put the brush in and it gets more paint on it, it becomes saturated. And so we become, if you will, saturated with the experience of oneness. And it washes us clean of all of our anger and all of our fear and all of our judgment and all of our complaint, all of our stories of woe. Whoa. So dip into this beautiful pool of oneness through meditation. Okay? Just close your eyes. So just use your breath to drop in. Be here now with your breath. Be here now with your breath. So we surrender all thought, all expectation. Expectation, the idea of a certain thing that may happen in the future. And with expectation comes the emotion of disappointment. So let's not set ourselves up. Let's let go of all stories of the past, all expectations of the future. No next, just now. No next. No anticipation. Nothing. Just now. No story. Just now. Just drop into the emptiness. Thoughts will come, thoughts will go. They run on their own. It's okay. You can see that now. You're the witness. You know that you are not your thoughts. So just let them go. You're irrelevant. Give them no meaning. They're irrelevant. Just let them go. Drop past them into the pool, into the depths of the ocean, into the calm, into the calm of the moment. Thank you. I think I could, I, whatever I is, could just stay in this state. I might. But I'm going to let you go. When we say be the love, this is the love. It's in this moment of oneness, moment past the waves, into the depths of the ocean, into the calm, past the thoughts, past the ideas, past the judgments of the past, the anticipation or expectations to the future, into nothingness, into one. Okay, love you guys. Happy New Year, whatever that means. Happy New Year, whatever that means. Let's make 2021 the freedom year.